Yes. So we are very honored to have Krishna Murari, our good friend, our eloquent speaker, the priest of Krishna and Balaram at the ancient temple of Nandagao. And he's here, and we love him, and I like to sit and listen to him. There's few people in the world, when they talk, I shut up. Usually I try to talk over everybody, but he's one of these people that makes me zip it and just listen. So please, Prabhu, will you please share? And he's very beautiful, isn't he? I feel like dirt in my heart is going away when I see you.
Thank you very much. We have heard so much, so I'm trying to keep it short, but give something very essential. Deyam sada parivavagnamabhishtadoham tirthaspadam shiva viranchinutam sharanyam Bhratyartiham pranatapal bhavabdhipotam Vande Mahapurushate Charanaravindam. I worship the Lotus Feats of the Supreme Lord, which are like the ship which can bring a person from somewhere to something very specific. Actually, it is said in Vrindavan that Janama Sahastra Hari Rangarache, that when a person's sukritis or the good deeds which a person performed in thousands or hundreds of his lives, when all those good deeds come together, te tirat pahunche jaye, then one gets a chance that he can go on a pilgrimage. And when a person comes on pilgrimage, he really comes out of his so-called comfort zone. So many things to adjust and everything. But what does the pilgrimage do to a person? Pilgrimage is like an instrument. You know, an instrument, a tool helps us into something. We in India have a tool, a normal Indian hand pump, you must have seen. My dear devotees, there's water inside the earth, but it cannot come out on its own. We need a specific tool to bring it up. When we set up a pump, a hand pump or an electrical pump, it helps us to bring the water out. The deep spiritual person, the deep spiritual self in all of us resides. But that's been covered by different layers of our engagements and everything. But by coming on pilgrimage, the pilgrimage works on us, because going on a pilgrimage is like going on a universal journey, where we meet different people, where so many things happen. Some things are beyond our control, but the experiences which we make, the people which we interact with during the time of our pilgrimage, they really help us to connect with that divine self which eternally resides in ourselves. It is said that when you know someone from distance, he will invite you only to the guest room which he has. So when we go on pilgrimage to different places like Haridwar, Rishikesh, all the other places, it's like going to the guest rooms, of the Supreme Lord. The other places are like the guest rooms. When you are fortunate enough, you come only to the guest room. But when you are more blessed, then that person invites you to his own personal space, the personal room where he lives, plays, dances, and even jokes. And that personal space is where we are seated together now. The land of Vrindavan, the land of Braj, is the own personal space of the Supreme Lord Himself. And what really happens when a person comes to Vrindavan? There's a beautiful conversation between Narada and Bhakti Devi and the other devotees who heard him. It's mentioned in Sri Bhagavat Mahatmya, in the glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam. What happens to a person when he comes to Vrindavan? Vrindavanasya sanyogat. Just by the mere association of a person with Vrindavan, just by coming to Vrindavan, Vrindavanasya sanyogat punastvam taruni nava. The spiritual life of a person, gets renourished. Punastvam taruni nava. And the spiritual life of a person becomes like a young lady. For example, if a 80-year-old lady turns into a 18-year-old lady, how miraculous is it? In Vrindavan, the spiritual life of a person gets renourished. New inspirations, new connections in bhakti are received just by coming to Vrindavan. And what to say about when someone comes to Vrindavan and takes seriously Vrindavan, hears about it. Because Dhanyam Vrindavanam Tena Bhaktir Nityati Yatracha. Because the Bhakti Devi herself, the personification of spiritual life, Bhakti Devi, she herself dances out of great joy just by being in Vrindavan. And definitely there is a source, so everything has a source. The source of happiness which makes bhakti to dance is Krishna's eternal presence here in Vrindavan. It is said, Chandra mite din kar mite. The moon will die one day. The sun will die one day. Mite triguna vistar. All the three worlds will die one day. Dradavata Shri Hari Vamshako Mite Nanetya Vihar. But one thing is always fixed, which will never change. The eternal conjugal loving pastimes or the interactions which Shri Krishna and Shri Radha, they do here in Vrindavan. The place where we are seated at the specific moment now. If the whole land of Vrindavan is like a human form of body, the human form has a head, legs, hands, and even heart. The place where we are is like the heart of Vrindavan. The solid heart of Vrindavan is Giriraj, where we are seated now. And what happens at Giriraj? Krishna, see, there are two levels of happenings. One is prakat, one is aprakat. One which can be comprehended or deciphered by our two pairs of eyes, or some of us have even four. So some things which we can see with the material eyes, but some things which happening, they are prakat, what we can personally see. And what is aprakat? Which the eyes of the heart can only see. And the way to open those eyes of the heart is by coming to Vrindavan and by praying to Vrindavan. Sri Vrindavan Shri Vrindavan, Shri Vrindavan, Shri Vrindavan. That, oh Vrindavan, oh the land of Vrindavan. I might be very intelligent, but I am yours. I might be super foolish, I am yours. Please accept me. Because my these eyes or my sensual perceptions, they can bring me only to a specific level. But because Vrindavan is not a place of understanding, of mind. Vrindavan is a place of heart. It's a place of experience. It's a place where the greatest opulent powerful men like Indra, they open their begging cloth like this and they look for mercy. Lord Shiva, who is the Lord of destruction, he eternally roams here like a toy of the Supreme Lord. He plays with Krishna. I want to tell you a small little pastime which takes place around, we heard about the men which Maharaj was quoting about who followed that lady. It's a story of Sri Nandadas. He was one of the very prolific writers in the local language. He has described a pastime that once Krishna, when he was stealing butter in the house of one of the gopi, here near the area of Govardhan, and Krishna reaches to the place where the pots are hanging. He reaches by climbing on the shoulders of one another friend. And as soon as he is taking out the butter from there, the only small dhoti which he wears, starts slipping away. Now he is more worried about the butter than the dhoti. But because he is not just a small boy from Vrindavan, but he's the Supreme Lord himself. So as soon as the two hands are hanging on the pot of butter, two small hands appear from his body, which start binding the slipping dhoti. And as soon as he sees this, at the same time, a small boy is born in the house of that person. And then he just by seeing this, he says, Ayo Chatur Bhujko Das. That today a servant of the four-handed personality has come in my house. These aprakat, which we cannot see, but they are always happening here in the area of Vrindavan. And how do we really personally connect to them? Is by associating or hearing. Hearing is also a form of association. When we associate with those who have felt or who have perceived, who have seen, who have experienced this, by their association, the eyes of the heart start opening up. In Vrindavan, we give a very, very simple analogy. When you have so many papayas, green papayas, and when you want to ripen them up, what do? When you have a big heap of papayas, green papayas, we just bring some yellow papayas. We just put the yellow papayas in between the green papayas, and just by the association, it will take some time, definitely. Not that I just came once with Raghunath and I changed the life. It might take 2 times or 3 times or 4 times. But definitely the green papaya of our heart will definitely turn into a yellow papaya, which is very sweet. And Vrindavan or a real holy place can open up for us only when the papaya has become yellow or red. Thank you very much. I just want to say, during the pilgrimage, we have received so many inspirations, so many things which we heard. We just need to there were some things which made us so excited, so eager, that we have to really remember them, take them with us, and we have to again and again ring that same bell of eagerness which we have. I have some small gifts. Marj, maybe you can. For the wisdom of the sages team, I have 2 cowbells. The time when you came, it's the time when the cows return home. When the cows from New York have come to the home. When the cows from New York have come to the real home. The cows come tinkling their bells, and then they return back to Krishna, to Krishna's home. May this bell of eagerness, may you all ring your own bell of eagerness and be reminded of that how you returned to the land of Krishna, to Krishna himself. Radhe Shyam. Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam.
The bell of eagerness.
I can't express how touched I am by this very special gift. And a few years back, I wanted to buy my wife a very special gift. And I came up with this idea. And Raghunath heard about it and said, oh, let me pay for half. And it was a very beautiful painting of Krishna and Balaram coming home from Govardhan at the evening time with all of the cows. It's such a beautiful painting that you could just stare at it forever. It's like Krishna steps right out of the painting and you feel like he's right there with you. It's so beautiful that then Raghunath said I had to buy it for myself, and Raghunath got this same painting. It's so nice. And I always love to look at that painting and meditate on that. It's called the Perfection of the Eyes, to see Krishna and Balaram returning home with the cows. The gopis are waiting, and all the residents of Vrindavan waiting for him to come back. And I'll put this bell right just by that painting, and every day I'll ring that bell and think of Krishna and the cows coming home. But thank you so much. It's so nice.
You will see when you ring it, it wakes you up from the New York dream. No, I don't mean it in a bad way, in a good way. Yeah.
Yes.